I see that Nvidia has been added to the S&P 500 index, but I also see that Nvidia is facing a lawsuit. Should I invest in Nvidia, or is it shakier than it appears? Well, I know you don't give direct investment advice over the airways, but what's your take on the situation with Nvidia, David?
Okay, so first of all, the questioner, I appreciate the question, but the Nvidia was added to the Dow this past week. The Dow
okay.
30. Intel got kicked out, and Nvidia took its place. So the Dow Industrial Average is 30 stocks meant to kind of give a representation of the American economy. So Intel got booted, which has been a bellwether for a long time. So and now Nvidia got put in its place. Now, what happened is you immediately saw the stock pop when it was at all-time high, an additional 2%. And the reason that happens is because any fund that is tracking the Dow index, right, there's a lot of index funds that would track it, are forced to buy it the minute that happens. They have to track it. So they had to go buy it. So that was guaranteed buyers, which pushed it to an all-time high. Now, there are some lawsuits there, and there's actually some rumblings out there on X or Twitter that you can find that maybe there is some issues in their accounting. And again, that would be pretty problematic if it were to be true. And of course, I'm not making any statements on this. I'm just telling you that
You're being very diplomatic. Is the allegation that somebody in there is cooking the books? Or
well,
what?
So we know that their third biggest client, which is a company called Supermicro, actually is going to be delisted here in about a week if they can't produce the documents on their accounting. So they're being investigated for accounting fraud.
A week or two ago on
they are
show.
the third biggest purchaser of NVIDIA's products. So if that's fraud, there's got to be something wrong in NVIDIA's books too, right? So again, we'll see what this comes out. Now here, you want an interesting tidbit, Chip?
Yeah.
Because the questioner said, hey, I see NVIDIA got the S&P 500. It got put in the S&P 500 2 decades ago. Do you know who it replaced?
No.
Enron. NVIDIA literally replaced Enron in these S&P 500. So a little irony there.
There's a painful little asterisk for many Omahans, but yes.
Yeah. So I cannot give you direct advice should you invest or not, and that if you're not our client, just to understand the way it works. But I would be very cautious to understand the risks I'd be taking buying this stock that has basically gone parabolic as anything. But again, they make the best chips. I own several computers that have NVIDIA processor, GPUs running in them, et cetera. Their products are amazing, but there's a lot to uncover there, and we'll probably cover that more just because we're starting to see a lot of news following some of that accounting. I think we covered that. Somebody had noted that NVIDIA had like 35 or 40% of their orders running through Singapore, a couple of small agencies. We discussed that on the air a few weeks back. So I'm very hyper alert to NVIDIA could have some issues, but boy, let me tell you, that would be, if that were to come true, that NVIDIA actually had some accounting mishaps in there and that were to become public, you could see 60-70% rip off the company's valuation rather quickly. But what that would do to all these other indexes and ETFs that track technology, because it's the biggest holding. And again, it's the largest, as we sit here today.
Quite a ripple effect as well.
Absolutely. It's the largest company in the world by valuation as we sit here today.